All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'll be your yoga instructor today. So, welcome to this hips and low back series number 2 as part of Wild Blue Yonder Media. So, today we're going to be focusing on getting into our hips and low back, stretching out our bodies, and using a chair to do so. If you attended the first part or did the classes in the other series that I did, don't worry, we are doing some different postures, so this is a different class entirely. So as we get into the postures today, just keep a few things in mind. Note where your boundaries are. If you're ready to extend or if you need to modify and take a break, make sure to do that as feels right for you. Also, keep in mind I don't often cue water. So if and when you feel thirsty, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable position. You can be in your chair, feet flat on the ground. You can be sitting up nice and tall, or you can be leaning back, whatever makes sense for you. Making sure that you have some nice lumbar support here, or the core is engaged if you're not using the back of the chair. So, we're sitting up nice and tall. Soles of the feet are flat on the floor. Hands are in a comfortable position, whether on the knees or legs, palms up or down. You can close the eyes if you like, or simply find an unmoving point and soften the gaze. And we'll wiggle back and forth, rooting into the sits bones. We'll sit up nice and tall here. And then we'll inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up. Exhale as you drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale as the shoulders come forward and up. And then exhale as you drop them back and down. Great. We're taking a moment to settle in here. Thinking, quote, being kind to yourself is one of the greatest kindnesses. You are your first friend, so it makes sense that we should be kind and loving to our first friend. Yet there are so many times when we are downright mean to ourselves. We say unkind things, we make up stories about our failures. We hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, and then we shame ourselves when we fall short. Being kind to yourself is a practice, one that requires intentionality and patience. But the kinder we can be to our first friend, the easier it is to be kinder to everyone else in the world. Today, I invite you to use this practice to pour out loving kindness to your first friend, you. With each and every breath, imagine pulling in all of the kindness from the world and letting go of all the meanness you've ever shown yourself in your life. So, settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhaling that breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you feel the belly expanding outward like a big balloon. And then exhale as you draw that belly button in toward your spine. Inhale as you feel the torso expand, the collarbones gently lift. And then exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhaling air in your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. Then exhale as you squeeze that air out of your lungs. Move it up your throat and out your nose. Continue to breathe here, inhaling and exhaling with intention. And if you notice that your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. It happens. Simply notice the moment you've gone away and then turn your attention back to your breath, back to focusing on your inhales and exhales. Now, if it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath. Inhale, I love. Exhale, my first friend. Inhale, I love. Exhale, my first friend. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. Take another deep inhale here as you set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale here as you feel that intention with the heart and the mind. And then exhale that breath out as we set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. So staying seated here, you want to come forward so you're a little bit more to the center of your chair. And bringing your left arm up or right arm up, reach it up overhead, and then exhale, lean over to the left here for a nice seated side bend. So lifting through the torso, we're not just crunching over, but instead really lifting through the torso, reaching through the crown of the head. So we feel that nice pull through the entire right side body here. The core is gently engaged as it keeps our torso lifted. We're not just crunching over, but we're also feeling that nice pull open through those ribs into the top of that right hip. Great. And then inhale, switching sides, right arm down to the top of your leg. Inhale, left arm up overhead. And then exhale, lean over to the right. So same thing, opposite side, staying lifted through the torso, core is gently engaged. We're feeling that nice deep pull to the entire left side of the body now. And we're not just focused on crunching over, but instead we're really lifting and reaching through the crown of the head. So we're getting that beautiful opening through the ribs, through that top of the hip there. Couple breaths. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come back into center. Inhale, sweep your arms wide, bring them up overhead, and then exhale, twist over to the right. So bring your left hand to the outside of your right leg, and then your right hand to the chair or to your body behind you, and rotate that head around as far as you can for a seated twist here. So we're lengthened through the spine, shoulders are down, using your body and your chair for leverage to help you rotate around without pushing beyond any edges, without hurting yourself here. Feeling that nice twisting motion through the spine. Oh, feels so good. Good. And then inhale, sweep those arms back up overhead. Exhale, let's go ahead and rotate over to the opposite side. So right hand to the outside of the left leg, left arm grasps that chair, the arm, the back of it, whatever you have access to, and then rotating your body around, coming into that seated twist on the opposite side. So again, we're long through the spine, shoulders are shrugged down, feeling that nice opposite twisting movement on the opposite side here. Oh, we're kind of wringing out the body as if we're a washcloth. Good. And then inhale back up, reach up overhead here, and then exhale, bring those hands down on top of the legs. I'm going to rotate my chair so you can see me, but you can stay right where you are. So again, staying seated kind of toward the middle of the chair, soles of the feet flat on the floor. Hands come down onto the legs toward the knees if that's accessible for you. So kind of that top part of the thigh. Then we're going to inhale, press the belly forward, lift the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blades coming into your seated cow. And then exhale, hollow out the back and the belly coming into your seated cat. Inhale into your seated cow, pulling forward on the legs, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lift that gaze, feel the pull through the front side of the body. And then exhale into cat as you hollow yourself out here, feeling the shoulder blades separate, feeling the chest and the pelvis move toward one another. Good. One more round each side. Inhale into a nice deep cow. Really feel that opening through the heart center. Exhale into a nice deep cat. Really feel that opening through the back here. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come up into neutral. Great work. We're going to go ahead and come to stand, and we want the back of the chair facing us. So you may need to make some adjustments here, moving that chair as feels right for you, making sure that it is attached to your mat or on a steady floor so it doesn't slide away from you. Okay. And so we're going to come to our chair. We're going to have it in front of us so it's accessible to our hands. Then we're going to take a nice wide legged stance. So just so you can see here, we're going to have a nice wide-legged stance, but you'll have your chair in front of you instead. Okay. So a nice wide-legged stance here. We're going to lift up nice and tall. And then on the exhale, using the chair for support, we're going to hinge at the hips and come into this wide-legged forward fold. Now, a couple things to note. We're keeping the core engaged. Our knees are slightly bent. So tempting to lock out the knees, but keep a slight bend here. And then press forward with the heart center as you use the chair for support. Now, if you find, hey, I can bend further than this, I don't need the back of the chair, great, no problem. You can always flip your chair around and use the seat instead for that support here, okay? So using this chair for support, as we hinge forward here, notice how I'm creating a nice perpendicular angle with my body, a nice right angle with my body, and I continue to press my chest forward. We're feeling that nice pull through the back of the legs here into the hips, and then we're getting into the back by doing that. So taking a couple nice deep breaths here and noticing with each exhale, can you sink a little lower? Maybe it's a millimeter, maybe it's an inch. You don't have to, but notice how when the muscles start to move up, we often are able to get a little bit deeper into our postures. So let's take a couple deep breaths here, feeling that nice opening. Good. And then inhale, go ahead, press yourself on up, stepping yourself back up into center. Great work. All right. We're going to go ahead and come back to a seat on our chair here. I'm going to adjust so you can see me. Maybe you need to move your chair, maybe not. Just notice what's right for you. Make sure it's nice and stable. And we're now going to come into our triangle pose here. So we're going to go ahead and take our left leg and bring it out to the side here. And we're going to turn that heel down so it's perpendicular to our body. Okay. We're then going to open up that right leg here, and we're going to extend it out as far as we can so that leg is nice and straight. Okay. So as straight as we can get it. Again, this might be a little bit difficult when you're on the chair, kind of angling it here. Okay. Moving that foot down as much as you're able. Need to get my book out of the way here. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and sweep our arms out to a T and then exhale, hinge forward, and then bring that front hand down, maybe to your shin, to your thigh or your shin, and then reach that other arm up here, coming into your seated triangle. Good. Taking in a couple nice deep breaths here. We're feeling an opening through that top hip and opening through the inside of this front leg. Good. And then inhale, go ahead, lift the torso back up, draw that foot in now. Okay, so again, we're sitting right on the edge of the chair. Now our foot is right beneath our knee. So we've created a nice right angle. We're going to drop our right hand, right forearm down to the top of that right leg, and then sweep our left arm forward, bringing that bicep over the ear, coming into our seated extended side angle. If this is too much on the shoulder, hand can also be on the hip. Keeping that back heel down as much as possible, pressing into this bottom side to keep the core engaged, keep the torso lifted. And if the arm is lifted, really reaching through that front arm here. So you notice how I've got a nice long line from my fingertips all the way down to my heel. Good. Opening things up just a little bit more. Couple breaths. Good. And then go ahead, bring this left arm down, switch it with the right here, and then rotate open as far as you can, lifting that right arm up, coming into your revolved extended side angle. So allow this left hip to drop as much as you can. So it's going to make it easier for you to twist, reaching up. Again, if it's hard on the right arm or right shoulder, hand can also come down to the hip. Press into that bottom arm, stay lifted through the torso, rotating the shoulders here. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and gently untwist. Really nice work here. Go ahead and bring those legs back into center. Windshield wipe those knees back and forth. That was a big opening. Great job. And then last one here, we're going to go ahead and take that right knee, cross it over, or right foot, and cross it over the left knee here, coming into your figure four. So if you were to look down, you're kind of created that top part of the four with your legs here. Okay. So we want our, um, that top part or that lower part of our calf to rest right here on kind of that fleshy part of the thigh here. Okay. So notice here, we're sitting up nice and tall. I have my hands resting down nice and gentle. I've got my right foot gently flexed. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. I'm certainly feeling a stretch already. Now, if you want a deeper stretch, we're going to inhale, lengthen through the torso, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, lean with the heart center, folding forward over this front leg here. Folding as far as you can, as long as you're pressing forward with that heart center, not going too far, but again, listening to your body and tuning into that sensation there. Couple deep breaths. Good. And then inhale brings us back into center. Uncross those legs, maybe windshield wipe those knees from side to side, getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of opening into that hip. Great work. And then we're going to come on to the opposite side. So go ahead and extend your right leg out to the side. We're right on the edge of our chair and turn that heel down so it is perpendicular to your mat. We're then going to go ahead and open ourselves up, extend that left leg as far as you can. It's going to be pretty straight here. And then we'll inhale, arms come out to a T. Exhale, reach forward through that front arm and then drop it down to your leg where it can reach, reaching that top arm up, coming into your seated triangle pose. We're feeling a pull through the top of the thigh or top of the hip here, opening through this front leg. Good. Good. And then inhale, go ahead and come back up into center. Pull this left heel in. So now your foot is beneath your heel. Our hips are open as wide as we can get them here. Okay. So foot is beneath the heel. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to drop our left arm to the top of that left thigh, sweep that right arm down and bring it forward and up, and then reach that top arm up over the ear here, coming into your seated extended side angle. This is too much on the shoulder. Hand can also be down on that right hip. So reaching forward here. Good. Feeling that nice opening through the side body, opening through the hips, pressing into that bottom arm, keeping the core engaged, torso lifted here, staying strong and rooted through both feet. Couple deep breaths. Good. Deep inhale. And then exhale, go ahead. Drop this right arm down, allow that right hip to drop here. As you rotate over, drop this right arm to the top of that left leg, and then rotate open here, coming into your revolved extended side angle. If this is too much on that left arm, left shoulder, hand can also be on the hip. Press into that bottom arm here. And remember to allow this hip to drop so that allows for a deeper twist and rotation through the spine. Couple deep breaths. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and gently untwist, coming back into neutral. Go ahead and draw those legs back in here. Nice work. And then maybe take just a couple little movements from side to side, opening ourselves back up, a little bit of movement back into those hips. Nice stretches here. And then again, we're going to come back into center, get ready for that figure four. So this time, go ahead and bring that left ankle to the top of the right leg here. Again, you want flesh on flesh, not bone on bone. So kind of adjust here as you need, rooting into the sits bones. You can rest your hands down on your knee, on your ankle, whatever feels good for you. Now, as we come into this deep hip stretch, notice one side may feel a little bit looser or tighter than the other. That's okay. That is very common. Just keep in mind what's really important is to make sure that we do the stretch on both sides. You don't have to go as deep or it doesn't have to be as intense as it is on the other side. So just keep that in mind as we stretch out here, noticing where your boundaries are. So again, maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. We're keeping our left foot gently flexed, so to protect our knee joint, and you're welcome to stay right here. Your other option is to lengthen through the spine on the inhale, and then on the exhale, hinge your hips, lean forward here, coming into that nice forward fold over your figure four. So the further forward that you press at the heart center, the deeper that stretch is going to be in that left hip. Again, not pushing any further than your body's ready today, but instead just noticing where you're at. Let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come back up into center. Great work. Go ahead and windshield wipe out those knees, loosening up here, getting a little bit of blood flow back into those hips. You did some nice deep stretches here. Great work. And then last time we're going to come into our wide-legged forward fold. So go ahead and make your way to whichever side of the chair is most supportive for you. For me, that's going to be the seat, but maybe for you, that's the back. And then we're going to step nice and wide. If you're able, maybe step just a little bit wider than you did this last time. And this time, turn your toes in toward the midline. Good. We'll inhale as we lengthen through our spine. And then exhale as we hinge at the hips, lean forward, using our chair for support here as we come into that forward fold with those toes pointing inward. So notice now how we're getting just a little bit of a different and deeper stretch in through the legs. We're pressing forward with the heart center no matter how deep down into this posture we go. We're feeling that nice deep pull through the back of the legs here. Shoulders are shrugged down. We're long through the spine. Chin is tucked. So we have that nice long spine from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. We're not craning the neck here, causing any strain. Taking a couple deep breaths here. We're thinking about rotating our hips out and up behind us. So again, we're really getting the fullness of that posture, fullness of that stretch here. Maybe you rock a little bit forward, a little bit back, just noticing what feels good for you here. One more deep inhale. And exhale, go ahead, press yourself on up into that straightened position. And then we're going to go ahead and make our way into our final relaxation. So since this is a chair yoga posture, we will be seated for final relaxation. But if you've taken other classes with me, you know you are more than welcome to make your way down onto your back, on the floor, on your mat, on a couch, whatever feels good for you here. If you're in your chair, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Maybe for final relaxation, you're leaned back onto that seat instead of sitting up nice and tall. But if you want more of an engaged final relaxation here, more of a meditative style, you're more than welcome to stay kind of toward the middle or edge of your seat and sit up nice and tall here. So taking a moment to settle in, root into the sits bones here, maybe adjust those shoulders. Find a comfortable spot for the hands. Maybe close the eyes or simply find an unmoving point and soften the gaze. And as you settle in, start to tune into your breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow it's moving. How deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales. The quality of each breath on your exhales. Feel into the breath as it moves in and out of the nose, up and down your throat. Resting here with your attention on the breath. And if you notice once again that the mind wanders off in a thinking adventure, it's okay. It happens. Simply notice the moment you've gone away, celebrate the noticing, then come back to the breath, come back to your inhales and your exhales. If it feels right, perhaps reincorporating the mantra we use at the beginning of your practice. Inhale, I love. Exhale, my first friend. Inhale, I love. Exhale, my first friend. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, just rest right here. This relies on that. One thing relies on another in order to arise and endure. This is the insight of interbeing, of non-self, which simply means that there is no separate, permanent entity, including ourselves. We also inter are. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhaling that breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, coming into a more alert position, maybe sitting toward the end of your seat, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, draw those shoulders forward and up. Exhale, drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. And then exhale, we drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in your lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth, and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this hips and low back class. That's part of this hips and low back series #2 that's here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and share it with a friend or someone you think could benefit or would enjoy doing this practice as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the rest of this series and in other practices, and have a delightful rest of your week. Bye.